Hey, Pelvic Posse, and welcome to the Empower Your Pelvis Podcast. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Empower Your Pelvis Podcast. I'm Dr. Amanda Fisher, and I'm a pelvic floor physical therapist and host of the show and owner of the Empower Your Pelvis Clinic in Kansas City, Missouri. Today, I have a lovely patient of mine. Her name is Tiffani. She's here to join us and just, fill us in on who she is and then give us a little insight to pelvic floor PT because she's gone through it a few times at different scenarios in her life, different chapters, let's say. So she can give a little insight to what we want. So Tiffani, thank you so much for joining us today. Lovely to see you on the screen. I just saw you in person a few days ago. I think it was yesterday. And yeah, love having you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So as Amanda said, I am Tiffani. I grew up in the Kansas City area and then went off to school at Mizzou and got a degree in diagnostic medical ultrasound. So I work in the hospital doing ultrasounds, sonograms, whatever you want to call it.
Which sounds like a very fun job. I think that would be like the most fun to have all day long. Is just I'm sure there are some moments that aren't as fun, but to, be able to share that joy with patients would be really fun too. Yes, I know you're looking at other things too.
Yep. The good definitely outweighs the bad. There are definitely some scans that are pretty hard to get through. And you find some things that are pretty emotional and hard to see, but the good outweighs the bad. And most days are really wonderful. And I love the variety that I get to see. We do all kinds of ultrasounds, OB, but also like abdomen and vascularity and thyroids and hernias and all kinds of stuff, but it's really fun. And no day is any different. Every day is a little different, which is really nice.
Very cool. Okay. So you went to school, got your degree. Did you meet your husband at Mizzou?
We knew each other before Mizzou, but we did go to Mizzou together and started dating when we were down in Columbia. And then my last year in school, we got married. And then I did clinicals full-time for the next few months and then graduated and started working here. And we live in Blue Springs. And then this last February, we had our first little baby boy, Logan, and he is just the light of our lives and just so fun, so very fun. And we're just soaking it all in and enjoying married life and enjoying being a new little family of 3.
I love it. He is the most adorable thing that I've ever seen. You'll hear me say that time and time again. If you have been on our social media and following on Instagram, he pops on there from time to time too. So he's truly, he's just so cute. I've never wanted to squeeze like baby's cheeks, but he's one of those babies that you're just like, I just can't get enough of you. And I haven't ever squeezed his cheeks. Let's just make sure that we know that hasn't happened. But he's just that cute. I think I tickle his feet though every time. Yeah. I'm like always like, how are you? He's adorable. So
yes, and he loves seeing Amanda and everyone at Empower Your Pelvis. He's so happy there.
We're happy to have him too. Like when he's not there, I think the one day I was like, where is he? And you're like, I like his grandma. And I'm like, bring him in, please. Okay. So thank you for sharing about you and your adorable family. One question that I always want to know, especially if you've been here as a patient, what is the number one thing that you would share with another patient about maybe what they need to know about pelvic floor PT or why they need pelvic floor PT, something along those lines?
I don't want to oversell it too much, but I do feel like pelvic floor PT can treat a lot of different systems. And I know Amanda has helped like my reproductive system. She's helped my urinary system. She's helped my GI system. She's helped my nervous system with some nerve pain that I've had. She's helped like mentally and emotionally and just all kinds of things. The pelvic floor really is related to a lot of different systems. And so when I was having low back pain, then like my hips were compensating and my knee was compensating. And so I was having pain, like all of my lower extremities. And by helping the back pain, then I was able to help both the hip and the knee pain, which is beneficial. And I guess really it's to say that there's a lot of things going on. And so if, you notice one of the symptoms that you're experiencing on the list, like on Instagram, when she, talks about all the different things that it can help, it truly can make a big difference. And for me, I have noticed such a change in going to pelvic floor physical therapy. It has been just such a relief to know that, the things that I've experienced, the pain with intercourse, the back pain, the urgency and incontinence, all of those things are real. They're happening. They are common. They are not necessarily normal. They're not normal. You shouldn't be experiencing them. I know that from watching all of Amanda's reels, but you shouldn't be experiencing them. But a lot of people do. And even though it's not talked about, it can be treated, and you can have a life that will be much more enjoyable because you're not experiencing the pain all the time. You're not, worried about if you're going to be out and about and not able to go to the bathroom, and you're going to have a pelvic floor bestie who's going to be so excited about all the different wins that you encounter. I cannot tell you how many times I've been thrilled to go back to PT and be like, Amanda, I just baby wore Logan for 2 hours on a hike and I still feel good. Like I did all the stretches and I did all the strengthening and I was able to go on a hike and it didn't hurt. And I'm not like having all this low back pain. Or I was at the grocery store the other day and I had to go to the bathroom and I was able to make it through the rest of my grocery shopping, not leave Logan in the cart, able to check out, get home, and then go to the bathroom. Like I made it. Like, and it's so exciting to have
who else gets that excited and giddy over those type of goals. And we love it, because those are ones that you're like, oh yeah, that's like typical stuff we should be able to do. But if we can't, well then yeah, there's an issue. We need to improve that. So you're right. I do love when you come in and you share all this news.
Yeah. So they're on your team. They're cheering you on. They're helping you out. And they're really making your life better. And you're not having to deal with those little inconveniences that you notice day in and day out, like hour after hour. And so it's really huge. And it's really been such a joy and a privilege to be able to get that treated and to be able to have someone who's really wonderful to talk to each week, and also to be able to get the help that I've been needing.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much for sharing. Well, Tiffani, thank you for coming on the show. We will have you back for part 2 later on. So definitely stay tuned for that. So this is the part 1 episode. Look for her for part 2 later. And we're very excited to have her for that as well. So thank you again, Tiffani. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, Pelvic Posse. I want to thank you so much for joining into this week's episode of the Empower Your Pelvis Podcast. Can I ask you a couple of favors, please? Number 1, can you like and subscribe to this podcast so that you can continue to empower your pelvis forever so that you will never miss out? Number 2, can you leave us a rating and a review telling them how amazing we are and everything that you have learned about your pelvic health? And then number 3, if you haven't seen the video version of this podcast, you can go over to youtube.com/C/Empower Your Pelvis for all your visual learners out there. We have all types of great visuals in there for you to not only listen to, but to also watch. Thank you so much again, and make sure to give your pelvis some love. Until next time, peace out, Pelvic Posse.